Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Well. I guess I should have kept the Jaylen Brown jersey on for this one, huh? JB officially gone. I had some spidey senses if you are someone that was on the recipient of one of my DMs earlier today, or especially in like the last hour or so. I was like, man, it feels like this trade is happening soon, and then bang, we got hit with it. Let me update the ticker here so we're not talking about Walker Kessler anymore. But holy crap, man. Jaylen Brown is traded to the Philadelphia 76ers. And for what feels like pretty cheap. Honestly, you know what we're doing right now? Yeah, we're cracking one out. We're pouring one out for our guy. Jaylen Brown got us a chip, an NBA title. And what did they get in return? Let's go pull up the trade here. Also, if it's your first time here, do me a favor. Like the channel, subscribe, do all the stuff, like the video. But here we go. Let's pull up the old Shamalama. There it is. Jaylen Brown and Philadelphia 76ers. The same team that got him, that he blew a 3-1 lead to, he is now suiting up next to. That's right. So Boston Celtics have agreed to trade Jaylen Brown to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George. 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Let's see if we got another update from that. No, that's the most up-to-date tweet was 7 minutes ago. I'm not going to lie, man. I did not see this one coming. Playoff P, pandemic P, podcast P. Paul George is now on the Celtics. I'm gonna be honest, man. I can't believe this is the value of Jaylen Brown. A second team All NBA, and I understand, man. I understand the situation, right? People are asking where the Jaylen Brown jersey is. Here it is. Do we take the shirt off? And put the other shirt on? Do we see nips? On stream? Is that what's going on? Let's get the Jaylen Brown jersey on for maybe the last time. We got it on here. Is this more shocking than the LaMelo trade? Is it more shocking than the Luka trade? People are saying, man, this is rough, dude. This is rough. I do think that the Celtics, basically what you were hearing from them over the last couple of hours, like Windhorst was talking about it a little bit, but man, yeah, we live in a world where Walker Kessler is more valuable than Jaylen Brown. Walker Kessler. Actually, I don't even know if that means the Celtics got a raw deal or that just explains how poorly the Lakers handled the Walker Kessler situation. But I mean, man, 2 first rounds. I mean, the good news here, well, no, there isn't good news because you now, like, honestly, I have to take this from the 76ers side of things right now. The 76ers are going to be freaking good. You have Jaylen Brown under contract for a few more years before you have to extend him, right? You pair that up with Tyrese Maxey. You pair that up with Why can't I VJ Edgecombe? And then you also put together with the Joel Embiid if he's out there and Jaylen Brown. I mean, that's like a great four. Obviously, Kelly Oubre, he dipped. Kelly Oubre's with the Indiana Pacers now. They signed Huck Porty. And yeah, Brad's sneaky awful. It's crazy, man. I was trying to give it's hard to judge an offseason when no moves have been made, right? And the Celtics today signed Mitchell Robinson for a couple of years and $47.2 million or whatever it is, right? They get Mitchell Robinson. They get the guy that's, I think, the same age as me and Mike Conley. And then you turn around and the move that is made here is Jaylen Brown for Paul George. And I know they're out there saying, hey, we're getting off the contract. We knew we weren't going to be able to pay him. His next contract was going to be too much. But man, the move the Celtics were trying to do moving forward was like, can you turn Jaylen Brown into a couple of other pieces, right? A couple of other, and that's why the Pelicans started seeming interesting when it was like, oh, could you get a Trey Murphy and a DeJounte, a Trey Murphy and somebody else, right? That's why Portland started to seem interesting in a Drew Holiday, Sharp, Young, whatever that situation was. But instead, they get Paul George, who is Paul George straight up outplayed Jaylen Brown, I think, in Game 7. But you get Paul George, who is clearly winding down his all NBA type career, right? So that's winding down. And then you get picks that are going to be semi-useless. Like, I don't see a world, unless these picks are 2032, 2034, some shit like that, unless they are deeper picks, I don't see a world in which this is any sort of return. I don't understand, man. Like, Fold My Socks is saying, how is VJ not involved in this deal? I just don't think there was a word like VJ, man. I mean, Jaylen Brown just did not, the value just was not there. And the Celtics had made the decision that they were moving off of him. And what I don't understand is what was the rush? What was the rush to do this trade? And maybe we're getting some more. Did we get any more Shams tweets? Did we get another one? No, we haven't gotten another one. That's actually kind of interesting. So far, Shams hasn't gone out of his way to say, hey, let's reward the agents yet. I'm a champion, Mikey, says 2011 Fernandez, but it's been a tough day. It's really hard to stomach a lot of this stuff as on the Celtics side of things. Let me find Spotrac here and see if they've updated. I also need to take another sip of this beer. We're just dead. We're just dead. That is I mean, I feel much better, by the way, about some of our Eastern Conference takes about the Toronto Raptors being a top 4 team, because it's hard to assume. It's hard to assume the Celtics are going to be up there. I'm happy you hung on to Hugo. Yeah, I mean, I still don't want to do the Giannis thing. I'm fine with that. Okay, we got, why would they trade Brown for Paul George of all players? Is he really that outspoken? They are spoken that they are ignoring his value. Well, the market. Hey, you want to shout out some NBA Top Shot stuff? The market dictates the value. It's not that the Celtics didn't value him. It's that the value around the league with Jaylen Brown, it just was not. Okay, we get the details out. Sorry. A 2031 first and a 2028 that could convert to the swap. Let's see. Did we get an update from Shams here? Let me pull his up. Yeah, okay. So let me share screen here, and then we can do the Spotrac thing. So here we go. We've got details on the 76ers pick. It is a 2028 first that could convert from a first to a swap that is more favorable to Boston, a 2031 unprotected first, a 2028 second round, and a 2030 second round. Man, that 2028 is garbage. The 2031, I do think, is something that could be fun down the road. An unprotected pick in 2031, which, yes, Maxey and VJ are still there, but Embiid will obviously be long gone at that point. Regulators saying the salary matches are tough. Who else was available with that salary? But that's what I don't understand. That's what I'm struggling with here, is why did they need to press eject? It's not like this wasn't the same as the Giannis situation in the sense that his contract was up this season, right? So you knew he was going. So, like, let's get at least something from him. They still had him for a couple of years. So I don't understand why they had to do it now. Like, allow teams to feel some sort of desperation, right? I was watching some of the moves that the Houston Rockets were making by just signing a bunch of guards, and I was like, maybe Houston's lining up to do something. And then I was, let Houston get off to a slow start and be like, okay, let's forfeit some of our assets and go get Jaylen Brown. I don't understand why they need to do it in this way? Like, why does it have to happen like this? I don't know. Unless there was more stuff going on behind the scenes. Agent Smith said, "I can't believe Brad. I'm done being a Celtics fan. Go Sixers." And then regulator said, "Did Boston misplay this? Could they have taken an earlier offer?" Well, I mean, if you really want to do it, if you really want to say that they misplayed it, is that they should have put in Ugo Gonzalez and or Baylor Shireman for Giannis, so that way you're actually getting Giannis back. But it seems like, and I hate to do this because I don't want to start pocket watching, but it does really feel like some ownership shit here with the shift in ownership under Bill Chisholm, that they've just kind of decided they're not spending money anymore. Like, is that's more important to them, to stay out of the aprons, out of the luxury taxes, and to just go ahead and, we'll put together a cute little team. We're going to turn them into the Boston Red Sox of basketball. I don't know, man. Ray, yeah, let the Celtics in the chat, Celtics fans in the chat, feel free to cry. I'm with you, man. As a Celtics fan, this is horrible. What the fuck are we doing? Says Ray. I do not understand the market perception on JB. Yeah, man, they should have been able to get more than this. I think the 4 first rounds that they were looking, the 4 first rounders they were looking for from Portland seemed to be a little too aggressive. I don't know if that makes sense to do something like that. I don't think so. But they still should be able to get a couple more pieces. People are asking for Weisberg. Let me shoot him a DM, see if we can get him on here. I just can't believe right before America Day, man, right before it was America Day, where USA is playing Bosnia, instead we have to do this. Yeah, they're getting out of the JB debt, $106 million to him for 2 years. I know, yeah, but listen, man, you got to pay people. You got to pay people. Did Brown force the speed of this? That's what we're asking right now. Did Jaylen Brown force the speed of this deal? I don't know, man. I'm saying the trade is rigged. I don't know if he did that. I don't know if he did that. Wait, are we seeing some more? Is there more details coming out here? Sorry, let me go back to the sham stuff. No, nothing more since then. I don't know where you're seeing the stuff about Ja, but I don't know. Why do a divisional? I don't listen. None of this makes sense. I mean, I know I'm forcing the Boston conversation because I am a Celtics fan. This is what a huge win for Philly, though. And I know that. Let's actually go to Spotrac here. Let's go to Spotrac. Let's go over to Spotrac. Let's look at the Celtics stuff for a second. So now this is pending transactions. Mitchell Robinson, Ron Harper Jr., and Mike Conley. Jesus Christ. You've got Tatum down here. JB's on the move, though. So this didn't update yet. What if I do a hard refresh? Also, my phone is blowing up like crazy right now. All right, so Spotrac is enjoying vacation right now. So they get off to Jaylen Brown. So they bring in Paul. What's Paul George's cap right now? What's he making this year? So I'm not drinking enough. So the 76ers now have added Dean Wade and Huck Porty and now Jaylen Brown. Paul George makes $54 million this year. Then he has a player option for $56 million. Oh my God. But look at this Sixers roster now, man. Where do you put Philly in the Eastern Conference? How much love are you giving to Philly? If you have Tyrese Maxey, obviously was all NBA caliber this past season. VJ Edgecombe, they still have on a rookie deal, and he is a dog. VJ won them playoff games. So that's your backcourt. You have JB as your 3. Joel Embiid is your 5. I don't know what the hell they have for a 4. I guess Dean Wade is going to be doing the same thing that he was doing in Cleveland, where he's going to defend and then not do anything else. And then, yeah, dude, Trey, I didn't even think about this, Trey. I didn't even think about this. LeBron James still looking for a new home. And why not Philly? Why not Philly? And I was pretty dead set that LeBron was going to a couple of teams. It was either Golden State or Cleveland. That's where I landed. Although I will tell you, not that I'm going to plug any prediction market, but I definitely put a little 50 spot on LeBron potentially going to the Denver Nuggets. But there's Taylor in the chat. But man, he makes a ton of sense with Philly, right? And VJ and Jaylen Brown defend at a high-ish level. Maxey is an okay defender, not a great defender, but he's okay. And then Embiid, whenever he's out on the court, I think they do need to get a backup 5. They do need to get that. But man, what a steal. What a steal for the Philadelphia 76ers, man. And kudos to them. I don't like to give their front office and management too much credit because, their owner's in the Epstein files. So let's point that out. Let's piss on their Cheerios there. But like to give up, if that's all you're giving up for Jaylen Brown, I mean, holy shit. A second team all NBA guy. The 76ers obviously got swept in the second round. Oh, is the stream freezing right now? Are you guys are we having some technical difficulties or are we back? But to only give up that, like of 2 first rounders. Again, let's shit on the Lakers here for a second. They just gave up $1 billion picks for Walker Kessler, and the 76ers gave up less for Jaylen Brown. And it's so funny, man, because the dialogue all week or the last 2 weeks was just how like the value in the market was not there for Jaylen Brown. But let me tell you what. That he's definitely worth more than that. And I understand the financials of it all. Bobby Marks could go F himself, but I understand the financials of it all and why it makes it a little bit tricky to acquire somebody like Jaylen Brown. Like, are you going to decide to pay him for the next handful of years or whatever? But I mean, this is like the ultimate buy low. If we thought what Portland was doing with Ja Morant was buying a distressed asset was sharp, what the 76ers just did for Jaylen Brown is bonkers. It is bonkers. Man, Jaylen Brown's like 29 years old, bro. 29 years old. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. And I don't even know what the next move for the Celtics would be. Like, I don't even, what do they even do from here? Are they just, and again, is this just ownership shit where they're just like content with the roster that they have? And they're like, okay, but like, we really do that. We couldn't trade Hugo Gonzalez because he's going to be the Spanish Larry Bird. How do you say bird in Spanish? Like, maybe that's what they think he's about to do. But their 5 now is going to be Tatum, White, Paul George, and like, unfortunately, we didn't get Paul George's, I wish we got Paul George right after he gets suspended for whatever usage he was using for those 25 games because he looked awesome there. Don't suspect that's the case. Regulator was asking, would you rather have Embiid? And I think the answer to that is no. Even though, listen, like Embiid's got obviously a better basketball player, but if you look at the contracts of Paul George and Embiid is making $57 million this year, so that's $3 million more. Next year, this is guaranteed too. He's making $6 million more than Paul George in 62. Then he has a player option in 28-29 for $67.2 million. So I don't, and then an unrestricted free agent after that. I don't know, man. I don't know, but holy crap, man. And then the comment, we got the Thunder Hour in the chat too. Common Man asking a pretty good question too, saying no one in the West had a better offer. I don't get trading him within the division, much less the conference. Well, trading him in the division means that the Celtics weren't really concerned about winning basketball games this season. That's what it tells me. I think they're probably like, let's see if we can stay out of that luxury tax for a second year, and then next year we'll go try to make some moves. Regulator trying to pour some copium in my beer, saying maybe Paul George opts out instead of opting in and extends for a lower number. And then Fernandez says, don't be sad. You now have our beloved Mitch, thanks to Dolan. I know we have Mitchell Robinson, but like, this is such a downgrade. I was on team, don't trade Jaylen Brown. You don't have to do it. But it was becoming clear that that's what was happening. And once it became clear, I was still in hopes that we were going to get something a little bit better than that. All right. Looks like we got our boy Weisberg here. We got our boy Mike Weisberg. I'm going to get him on. Let me just adjust some of this stuff so we can hear from somebody else besides me. All right, hold on. Yeah, let's do this background. Let's do the sexy background. Let's do where is it? Let's do this. Yes, and let's get Weisberg in here. Mike, what's going on, man? Oh, sick, dude. I like that Mike came on and his microphone's not on. So that was good, though. That was nice and dramatic. Nice and dramatic, though. Like, kind of rubbed his head a little bit. Thought he was gonna memorialize, maybe cry or something. But instead, all right, let's see Mike say something. No, he's still muted. Beautiful, dude. Beautiful. J Fog in the chat saying embarrassing trade. Man, it was, dude. Yeah, no words. No words. It was an embarrassing trade. It was an embarrassing trade. I don't know. Mike, just tell me or give me a thumbs up when you're ready and you want me to try it again. But yeah, that was an embarrassing trade. I really again, I started talking myself into the Celtics doing this if they were going to get like 2 okay pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 decent pieces to come in that could like impact basketball. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. Let's try this again with old Weisberg. Are you back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good now, Mike. All right, now you can give us the tiers.
Jesus Christ. Audio.
Yeah, you're there.
Can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah, I can hear you.
God damn it.
You can't hear me now? This is incredible. Let's get Mike back off. Awesome. Really good stuff, guys. Really good stuff. Thank you for the 132 people watching right now that saw that. That was beautiful. I honestly, the way Mike is coming on and off the stream right now is exactly how that trade went down. It's just garbage. It's just garbage all around. It's garbage all around. Man, I still can't get over this. Yeah, this is how the negotiating went. It is. I agree with this. This is how the negotiations went. You guys are opposite. I already made the joke, guys. I already made the joke. You can't come in here with the Celtics hate when I've already made the joke. All right, let's see if Weisberg can do it again. Let's try this one more time, Mike.
Back, baby.
All right, there we go. All right, Mike, how are we doing?
I don't like any of this. I don't know, man. They better be trading for Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy's not been linked to the Celtics like at all. All of the New Orleans beat reporters. I mean, I guess maybe that's because it's for Jaylen Brown that they're not interested in. But like, what assets do we have right now that would go?
They have enough first to get it done now. You could do three. You could do the 2 Sixers pick and one of your own and make it work.
So then the trade was basically Jaylen Brown for Trey Murphy straight up?
And you would get Paul George.
It's so bad. It's so bad, man.
That's the only way this makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's really bad. I can't believe I just can't believe this was the return.
Yeah. No. I don't really get it. I don't really understand why, if this was the return, why you wouldn't just bring him back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why did they do it?
I really want to hear what Brad has to say. I'm sure he's going to have a presser in the next hour to try to explain this, but like, I don't understand. And to trade him to the Sixers?
Yeah.
You keep him in the East?
It's crazy.
Like, I mean, look, the case against Jaylen is you really think an extension is going to age really poorly, but he's 30. Yeah. And you're trading for a guy who's 4 years. Like, at least a Kawhi trade makes more sense than Paul George.
Oh, yeah. That was a good trade.
You know, like that I would have understood more than what this is, unless they're trying to do the Trey Murphy thing. Like, that's the only way this makes sense.
I hate it.
Yeah, look,
2 first-rounders, one of them, like, I kind of understand the language of the 2028. The later unprotected first-round pick is a good asset. That's, like, a great pick that could be shifted around. But I just, like, I just don't.
I'll tell you this, Mike. I texted some people to get some clarity, and I'm waiting to get some texts back on the 2028 pick.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I'll see if I get a response back from a few people to get it.
Well, we saw Shams had an update. I don't know if you saw that. It says it's 2028 first round pick that could convert from a first to a swap that is more favorable to Boston.
Right. But the question is, like, is it what are the details on that swap? Is it does it convert to is it an unprotected that could convert to a swap?
Yeah. I don't know.
And if that's the case, is it like a games played thing for Jaylen? Like, what are we looking at here on those details?
Yeah, this is nuts. This is really nuts. And I guess, like, I know, again, wearing the Boston jersey, we know you're a Celtics fan. This is like a home run for Philly, right?
Yeah, I mean, and the crazy thing is, Philly doesn't even need to extend him because he's got 3 years left on the deal.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I know And that like extra year of paying him what you were essentially paying Paul George, obviously a little bit more, but it's not too much more. It's one extra year of it because Paul George's contract would end sooner. And Embiid's contract is insane, but you still have VJ on that rookie deal while you're doing this.
Right. So it gives them so much more flexibility if they wanted to trade Embiid.
Yeah.
Because now you can really do some interesting things. I wonder, you think the Sixers said, hey, we'll maybe flip JD for Embiid? And Brad said no to that. They went to Paul George.
Yeah, I don't think you can do the Embiid one. So I was looking this up before you got here, man. Joel Embiid makes 57.9 this year, 62 next year, and then he's got a player option for 67. And I just don't think you can, especially if they're making this move because they're scared of money, right? If that's why they're doing a deal like this, you can't take on Embiid, right?
Yeah, I mean, and look, the other thing is the deal they did earlier today for Mitchell Robinson caps them at the first apron.
Right. They're hard caps, right?
So they can't really do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They can take someone into they can make a deal for like a Cam Johnson into the TPE, I think.
Yeah.
And they'd be fine.
But it's who cares? Why even do that?
Just to give yourself a little more wing depth. And maybe you flip Paul George in the future, like next year on the expiring.
Yeah, I mean, is that where you need more depth as wings? Like, if we can't trade Baylor Shireman and Hugo Gonzalez for Giannis Antetokounmpo, we acquire Paul George. I don't know if we need another fucking wing.
Let's be clear on that. Like, I think people misunderstand the Hugo and Baylor Shireman thing. It is not that they held the line on Hugo and Baylor,
right?
It's that the Bucks were asking for more first-round picks and swaps and Baylor and Hugo.
Sure.
So, like, the context changes between Jaylen Brown, 4 firsts, Hugo, and more swaps, and Hugo and Baylor.
Right.
Like, I think the way people look at it is if the Celtics were going to do JB, Hugo, Baylor, and 2 firsts. That wasn't what they were holding the line at.
I get it. I'm just saying I don't think wing depth is something that they like. If I don't know, right now our starting centers are 2 guys that probably can't play more than 22 minutes of good NBA basketball.
I mean, I think Nimi is fine during the regular season. I think in the playoffs it's a real concern.
Right.
As of now, this is a team that's probably a 5 or a 6 seed.
Oh yeah. After this move, because again, like, congrats to getting Paul George, and those 48 regular season games will be awesome. But like, that starting 5 is Derek White. Now Peyton Pritchard has to start, right? Pritchard is starting. You have Tatum, Paul George, Nehemiah Queta. And like, again, Mazzulla's a good regular season coach. The Celtics are still going to win probably like north of 45 to 47 games would be my guess. That would be my guess. But the rest of the Eastern Conference has gotten so much better with like the Pacers coming back, Miami getting Giannis, the Hornets being a good basketball team. Now Philly, all of a sudden, I would have put the Celtics ahead of Philly. Philly's now, I don't know, Knicks, Sixers, and Raptors, maybe the top 3 teams in the East this year.
Don't forget about Indy.
And Indy, top 4 teams in the East?
Like, man, I don't understand it. I'm going to fully withhold judgment until I hear back from Brad and see what, like,
I like that you
Brad I want to see what Brad says at this presser.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think that'll be interesting. As far as, like, the rest of this, I don't know. There has to be something else to me.
Yeah.
Because if it's just this, I would love to know if this was an ownership thing.
That's what it feels. That's what I had said before you got on here. This to me screams ownership. That because, like, if it's not that, right? If it wasn't like, let's make sure we're out of the luxury tax for a second year in a row so we can get spicy next year, whatever. Like, if that's what they were trying to do, because there's no reason to hit eject right now. Jaylen Brown hasn't said anything publicly outside of liking an Instagram comment that made it seem like he needed to get the hell out of here. there's just no like, why not wait until I was mentioning this before you got on here? Like, the Rockets have been doing some weird stuff acquiring guards this offseason.
Yeah.
And so I was like, maybe Houston gets a little bit desperate. Now they float like Reed Shepherd, Tyrese, and some picks, right? Wait for something else like that instead of just hitting eject right now. Like, what's the rush?
Or like, look, I hated the idea of Jamal Murray, but I would have done Jaylen Brown for Jamal Murray any day of the week over this bullshit.
This is right. 100%. Jamal Murray.
As much as I hate the Jamal Murray contract, that makes more sense in terms of competing for now.
And he makes
none of this makes sense unless you're trying to do something else.
And I know people have mentioned like the expiring contract of Paul George, but just a reminder, like, it's not expiring this year. It's $54 million next year, a player option of $56.5 million next year. And then he's an unrestricted free agent. And I know regulators said, hey, maybe he does a James Harden in his player option, right? And he opts out, tries to get like 3 years for less money, for less AAV. But it's hard to find any sort of like silver lining here. We get is this DC from the old Top Shot days? Says feels like Belichick is running Brady out of town, or the Sox not paying Mookie. Both won rings right after. Wow, so you're saying bet on the Sixers to take it down now?
They did jump about from plus 6,300 to plus 3,300.
Yeah, there you go. Frank, producer Frank in the chat saying I called this earlier today. He did call a JB trade today. I don't think you called this garbage, though, right? And then Claude in the chat, I'm assuming Claude's on the Philly side of stuff. I mean, dude, this is a home run for the 76ers, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand. Like, from the Philly perspective, if they don't win a title this year, they got real concerns to me on the flip side of this. Like,
yeah.
I mean, technically, JB is going to have 2 years left on that deal anyway. And when does Embiid run out?
Well, Embiid's got a lot of money left. Embiid is this year's $58 million, next year's $62, then a player option 28, 29, $67 million. But I do think that gives him probably like a 2 year window, like because as long as because when do you have to start paying VJ? Not big money until 29,
year 3,
30.
basically. Year 3, he's extension eligible.
Yeah, so you're paying max,
and that wouldn't kick in for the following year.
So they really are paying, like, this year they'll pay Embiid 57 or 58, Maxey 40, and then JB 50, whatever he makes between those three guys. And then that really, I swear to God, man, what do you think about this? And I said this before you got here too. Does LeBron James consider them as like an option now? Because I don't think Philly was entering the chat at all in the LeBron sweepstakes. But I feel like this now becomes a little bit of a more desirable opportunity.
Braun on a vet min to Philly. And he gets the opportunity to stick a knife in Boston.
Right? It's a great comment from OG's Ghost right there.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. It's certainly appealing. I can see the thought process.
Yeah.
But I hate all of this. I don't understand it. Still looking at my phone to see if any texts come through here.
Couple more questions. Oh yeah, a couple more questions here. Boston Bay said y'all think the reporting was wrong, and he asked for the trade. Like, there has been some speculation that there've been more conversations happening behind the scenes. Do you think that there's a likelihood of that?
I think that will come out shortly.
Yeah.
I think the way Shams has reported this has been a little dishonest. I have heard, how do I want to frame this? There's been at least 2 reports that I've seen from people who are like sort of connected to JB, who have basically said, yes, he actively requested a trade a couple weeks ago.
Well, like, when you say reported, or is this just kind of like
basketball manager types who,
okay, cool,
came out and said like, yeah, like this happened. I don't know what Brad's going to say.
Well, you know what I'll be really interested in is like a couple days from now, and it's usually, I think it's Ramona Shelburne seems to be the expert at this. I wonder if we get, as Brian Curtis would say, a now they tell us. And do we start hearing about some like funky stuff in the locker? Oh, like I don't know. And the Boston media loves to do this shit too. When somebody leaves, they like to crap on them on the way out. Me personally, I hope that's not the case. I would like to just be like, JB got us a chip, man. And I will remember that. He was the Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. This year was some of the most fun I've had watching Celtics basketball until the postseason because of what Jaylen Brown did for that team. So I don't want that. I would be much happier if ownership just came out, took the L, and they were like, you know what? We're cheap bastards. We just got here, wanted to save a little bit of money, instead of it being if we start getting one of those reports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would guess the reporting, if you're going to see like a shit on Jaylen Brown report, I would guess it's going to come from Jay King.
Yeah.
And who's the other guy that used to cover the Celtics?
Jay King, Brian Robb from Mass Live.
No, I'm talking about from The Athletic that covers the Spurs now.
Oh, Jared Weiss.
Yeah. I would expect a Jay King, Jared Weiss article incoming shortly.
Yeah.
Probably within the next 24 hours.
Yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed, well, obviously, if you're new to this channel, do me a favor and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Also, the Celtics have Jay King. You mentioned him. They have a podcast that I think they do some of it behind the paywall, some of it's free, called Still Potable. And they'll definitely have something come out in the next hour or so. And I'm sure that's going to be good. All right, hold on. We got another trade here. The Mavs are sending Santi Aldama. Let's see what the full trade is here. Memphis Grizzlies are trading Santi Aldama to the Dallas Mavericks for A.J. Johnson, a protected 2030 Warriors first-round pick, and 2 future second-round picks. So Memphis fully going young. That's a fun trade for Dallas. I like Santi Aldama.
Yeah, that's interesting. Gives them some more wing depth along with like wing/center depth to pair with Cooper.
Yeah, exactly.
Who else was in that deal?
AJ Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with Gafford and PJ Washington?
PJ's for sure going to be gone. I think Gafford's staying. But I think PJ is going to be somebody's like trade exception.
See, I would have enjoyed even something like that. PJ and Gafford for picks.
Right?
Like that would have been. I would have like been like kind of whatever. But like at least I could understand that. Paul George, I don't understand at all.
I do not. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, courtside. They definitely don't like. They don't like Paul George over Jaylen Brown. I'm telling you that right now. And then this is a great comment from Frank. He says, "Does JB fire up a live stream? Does he get on Twitch or Kick or wherever he's doing it and fire up something?"
Have the Celtics announced the presser yet?
I don't think so. I haven't seen anything from the Celtics. Let me see. I just saw Jerv replying to my tweet. That was rude, Jerv. Okay, let me see if the Celtics actually said anything. I see that Celtics on CLNS is live. I don't think we have anything from Boston yet. No, their last tweet was 5 hours ago with rookies, with Dylan Mitchell and Chris Sinak Jr. So nothing yet there.
It was really noticeable that Celtics like social had kind of stayed away from Jaylen Brown content over the last week.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've done some draft stuff. They've done a couple things here and there. Have not really referenced JB, so I'm not entirely surprised on this front. But
yeah, Musto's asking, just they're not like going full rebuild, right? They're not doing anything crazy like that. They're just trying to now find some pieces to go around JT, right?
Yeah. I think what's likely, I do think it increases the likelihood that Jason is going to put pressure on the organization now, though.
Yeah, he's going to
wait for those reports.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you this. What do you think Tatum's reaction to this is? Not publicly. Like, of course, he's going to just like ride or die with this. Like, he's going to say the right things about Jaylen. He'll say the right things about the organization. What do you think is actually happening, though?
I don't know. And that's not a great answer. I may hear some things at some point. But yeah, not great, probably. I'm sure he's not thrilled. Like, you got 2 firsts for Jaylen Brown. One of them's not even a real first. Like,
right.
And Paul George, a guy who's 4 years older with the same contract. Like, I'm sure Tatum's annoyed. And we got Conley and Mitchell Robinson, you know.
The Mike Conley thing is crazy too, because I know Celtics fans are pretty excited at the idea of trying to get like Simons to come back. And once the Conley deal happened, it was like clear that they're not going after any other guards. And Boston Bay said Bradley Beal next. I mean, that's one way. They're like, hey, Tatum, we're not going to win a ton of basketball games this year, but we'll get your mentor.
Yeah. All of this sucks. And by the way, Boston Bay's Brad Beal is not coming to Boston. Brad Beal is going to Miami.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, he's not really
the only way he turns down the player option that he had was to go to Miami and try to win.
Yeah.
Regulator, just because he's $3 million cheaper doesn't make that a good deal.
Santi Aldama, by the way, was garnered just one more first-round pick than Jaylen Brown. Because Paul George, by the way, was not a Celtics target. That was to make salaries match, right? Like, no, I mean, Boston will take him because they need to fill in the Jaylen Brown, but they weren't like, I promise you he wasn't on a short list that the Celtics were like, we need to get PG.
Can we get PG to get suspended again for 70 games and then go on whatever, like, compound V he was on in the playoffs? Is that the way that we can do this?
I know, seriously.
I'm good with that.
Retire, bro. Like, just retire.
The morning squad NBA, I'll tell you, I don't think Celtics management is in love with PG. I will tell you, I think they really needed to deal Jaylen Brown. And the offers they got were dog shit.
The one thing I will absolutely need to be explained to me is why they had to do it now. That is the one thing I need clarification on, because like, what I don't understand why now compared to a month from now, compared to October, compared to February, you know? And not that, I mean, we saw the Bucks do this and it was a nightmare season for them. And the value of Giannis only kind of slowly slid down. So maybe they saw that and they were like, we can't do that. So like, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. But the timing of this makes little to no sense to me. I will say, I saw Jackson Frank, who covers the Sixers. He tweeted out, and this is the only take I've seen about this, pretty mad trade for the Sixers. Volume, scoring, interior pressure, and health are all big improvements, but it's a shooting, passing, defensive downgrade, all things they really need on a bigger contract and 2 firsts. Jaylen is younger, better, healthier than Paul George, of course. Major offensive talent down. Oh, and then he starts talking about Boston. I'm surprised he thinks that's a mad trade. I mean, I guess like you do, like you pointed out, Weisberg, they do need to win like ASAP.
Yeah, I mean, now you're a deep second apron team.
Mm-hmm.
You're going into the repeater tax. Sorry, they're not in the repeater tax yet. They will be next year.
Yeah.
So it becomes pretty prohibitive. Their draft pick's going to get frozen if it's multiple years in the repeater tax. Like, I don't know, man. And you still got to pay VJ in a couple years. I'm not spinning this as a bad thing for Philly.
No.
It just means Philly's window just got accelerated in a way that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny, man, because I had a feeling like the buzz that I was hearing this afternoon was that Jaylen Brown was getting moved today. So I was seeing some of that stuff. So I was getting ready. I was getting ready to like stream and was on my phone pretty incessantly for the last hour waiting for the notification. But at no point did I think Philly was in this. So I haven't even wrapped my head around like the Philly side of this. I was so ready for it to be Portland, Denver. Maybe the Pelicans did come to the table. I thought it was going to be maybe a Houston situation. I just did not. In no world did I see Philly being involved. In no way did I see. I mean, I thought like 4 first-round picks, especially when talking with Portland and those being Milwaukee's picks. I thought that was a pretty steep price tag considering nobody else was out there offering other shit up. So I wasn't too stunned that they held off on that. But man, 2 firsts from Philly.
Got some details.
Yeah, what do you got?
Looks like it's the more favorable of the Clippers and Sixers first round pick in 2028.
Okay. I mean, I guess
So,
that's a little bit better, but that's also 2 years from now, right? That's not this next draft. It's the draft after. And
well, I'll tell you, the 2027 draft sucks.
Yeah.
The 28 draft is supposed to be a little bit better in terms of like it being a little bit deeper. The high-end talent is supposedly not as deep as of now. That's certainly something that's changed in a couple of years. But not a lot of teams really want to trade into the 27 draft. So The reason why you do 28 and 31 is that right now, none of their stars are currently under contract through 2031.
Right.
So if you think something goes real left for Philly, maybe that 2031 pick becomes valuable, but like, oof.
These are terrible picks. These aren't good picks. Oh man, I am so surprised by this. I really am.
I would have thought they would have gotten at least 3 first. Like even like a fake swap.
Yeah.
You know?
This
like
feels good.
No, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
yeah.
I think there were better offers out there. I just don't know why they chose this one.
This is the stuff. Yeah. And this is the shit that pisses me off too. And I mean, maybe they're just like, now we can ease Tatum back in for one more year and then actually spend some money the following year. And then but I totally agree with this. And if I was Tatum, I'd feel the same way too, man. It's the same, like that. Honestly, it's how I feel if I'm Luka right now, where we're watching. You're like, wait, this is the future. This is the team that we're building around moving forward. It's all these white guys. Like, that's what we decided we're doing. And for like Tatum, I'd be the same thing, man. He's like, hey, I just busted my ass to get back in time for a playoff run. I'm ready to go. I had to sit out most of that year, and now I'm ready to compete and try to win. And this is what we're doing. And I love Peyton Pritchard, but I think it became clear that like Peyton Pritchard maybe shouldn't be our starting point guard. Like that he should be 6th man of the year, Peyton Pritchard, right?
Yeah, I also think there are more, like, I can see them dealing Peyton Pritchard too. Like,
yeah, because he probably has more value than Jaylen Brown does on that contract, right?
And there's other guys that need extensions. Like,
yeah.
There's a bunch of extensions that need to happen. Like, are they going to extend Kada? Are they going to extend Pritchard? Like, there's functional stuff here that I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That people have really accounted for per se, but at the same time, like, I understand the want and need to get under the repeater tax. You could have done this in a bunch of different ways without needing to deal Jaylen Brown.
I do not.
At least for this package.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. By the way, I'm going to have a video go up tomorrow morning on the Celtics Daily. Just dropped a link to that. That'll just be like 25 minutes of me crying probably, but go check on it. Can we get a positive spin? Listen, Boston Base, I usually do a pretty good job of coming up with like a bull case and a bear case. This seems like rich guys trying to save money. That's what this trade seems like. And I can't find a fun way to spin it. Unless, again, we get a piece that comes out that Jaylen Brown was driving like LaMelo Ball, in the parking lots. Like, I don't know. I can't. I don't have a positive spin on this except like congrats to the rich guys who won't be in the tax.
All right. A little more details on that 2028 pick.
Okay.
Per Keith Smith, Boston could get Philly's pick if it lands 1 through 8. If that pick is 9 through 30, it's gone from the Sixers in a complicated swap that involves multiple teams. If the Philly pick is 9 through 30, then Boston gets the most favorable of their own pick and the LA Clippers pick that Philly owns, with the less favorable pick staying with the Sixers.
There you go. There you go. Here's a positive spin. It frees up some time we would have spent watching the Celtics games this year. You know what you get ready for? 2 seed versus the 7 seed in the first round of the playoffs, where the Celtics are on the road against the 76ers, right? I mean, that feels...
And I will say this for regulator. People wanted to see what Jason Tatum number 1 minutes look like. Okay.
Which, by the way, this is a guaranteed segment in February of 2027 on both ESPN and Boston Sports Radio. Looking at the standings, Jaylen Brown at this point of the year last year had led the Celtics to 32 wins, while Jason Tatum only has 29 wins. Is Jaylen Brown better than Jason Tatum? We're still going to do this shit next year, by the way.
Shout out my guy, Adam Jones. He will almost certainly be like, guys, I don't know what we're going to do, but I will tell you, I always like Jaylen Brown more than Jason Tatum.
Oh, it's like, I love that they're like, well, you can't have two. If you have 2 alphas, you have 2 betas. Well, now we have Tatum and Paul George, man. So
Jones, by the way, had the funniest tweet today about the Alex Cora stuff. I don't know if you saw it today.
No, I missed
of
it.
like Alex Cora might be coming back into Red Sox management, and he was like, "I hate it so much." 30 puking emojis. Just
man, what a like. I have never been more desperate for the Patriots season to start, and they're probably going to take a step back too. But between the Red Sox, that's what I mean. If the United States loses to Bosnia, no disrespect to DJP in the chat and to Alan and to my boy Vedran, I'm going to be devastated. I need something to distract me the rest of the way. But I think let's wrap up with this here because I need to go watch this game, and I now probably won't have a chance to get to the bar now because it's going to be too packed. Let's do this first. Do you have any? I mean, Mitchell Robinson, Mike Conley. I feel like none of it matters now that Jaylen Brown. This trade has happened. It's really changed my forecast for this season, so I don't even give a shit about the Mitchell.
Cool. Getting an offensive specialist who will only play 20 minutes and play 50 games.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if we're lucky. I don't see the need for it right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
like you said, if you weren't looking to compete, why did you go get Mitchell Robinson?
Yeah.
What's the point of spending the $50 million there?
That's why I was so confused because when I saw when Mitchell Robinson signed, I was like, "Oh, I guess they're going to reconcile with Jaylen Brown." And then I started seeing some stuff. I started hearing some stuff from some people that the trade was going to go down today, and I was like, "Holy shit! Why would you do the Mitchell Robinson thing then?" I don't understand it.
I still think like my actual prediction is I think there's another move in the chamber. I think there has to be. If that move is Trey Murphy, great. That would make things a hell of a lot easier. I don't know who else they would trade for. Like
nobody's available. Like I feel like most of the stuff has been ironed out. That's what was so surprising about this Jaylen Brown dialogue is like so much of this stuff had been ironed out and like people kept falling off. You know, it was like Portland's now out of the conversation. Utah's out of the conversation. Detroit's out of the conversation. It just kept happening. So I don't know, man.
Boston base. I don't think they're done. But I am waiting to hear back and see exactly if anyone has a little more info on the backside of this. But we'll see. I might post something in Discord if I hear anything fun. Well, I'll say that.
Absolutely wild. Let's wrap it up here. Before we get out of here, we'll be back. I'll have an NBA bit show tomorrow night, so come hang out for that. It'll probably be at like 6 or 7 p.m. Take a look for that. Go subscribe to Celtics Daily. Mike, before we get out of here, where's LeBron going?
Still Golden State, I think.
Golden State.
I know they've leaked all the stuff about him taking a vet man. I still think it's just Golden State.
Yeah. I bet on Denver today.
Oh.
I put some money on Denver today. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But
I know Adam Mars was making the case over on the DNVR show today.
Yeah, saw some Windhorse Alpha, got excited, said, why not? Why not? But that's going to do it for us over here. I'm going to go cry into a pillow. Hopefully Pulisic saves my night. Weisberg, thanks for jumping on last minute. Celtics. Brad Stevens, you owe me an apology or at least some answers. We're out of here.